morning. You're watching Breakfast Television. I'm so happy to have Pasquale Fulginiti here. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me back.
Thank you. Early childhood and parent educator. You made it very easy for me because we are going to be talking about the ABCs today. So all I have to say is let's start it off with A.
With A. Yeah, absolutely. Kids are going back to school, and it's a stressful time for kids, not to mention for parents as well.
But I'm really excited about it.
And it's worthwhile sitting down with your kids talking about the ABCs before they go back to school. And A is asking the question that each child wants to discuss is, are you afraid? What are you afraid of? Let's talk about going back to school.
And this is at any age.
At any age, whether your child is going to daycare for the first time, to full grade for the first time, first day of high school. And what kids usually are afraid of is, will I be liked? Will I say something dumb and will the kids make fun of me? Will I get lost? Will I know my way around? Things like that. So we ask the parents to be active listening. So that means just listening. Don't give advice. Just listen to what the child has to say. And also,
I don't feel like listening to my kids. I'm really tired. But I pretend.
Yeah, well, you can pretend, and that's acknowledgement. Well, that's acknowledgement. It's giving them a Sullivan nod or saying, or just listening. And it's comforting for anybody when someone is, like what you're just doing, it's comforting and it's easy to communicate with somebody. Oh, yeah, no, I understand. We have eye contact. I feel it.
All right.
And you're good. That's amazing. And then, of course, is you want to paraphrase what they've just said. So you can say, it sounds to me like you're afraid, and label the emotion. It appears to me that you're worried about getting lost.
Because if we don't talk to our kids, they may not talk to us.
Well, you want to know how their day was. So you do want to say, instead of saying, how was your day, which is a closed-ended question, is fine, what'd you do, nothing, is tell me about your day. Tell me something that you would do over again.
I'm going to tell you,
open-ended.
I'm a good mom because I do that every single day. I ask my kids what they did. And when they go to school, what happened in school today.
Right, something specific that happened. If you know they had a test, so it's part of communication. So it's acknowledgement and paraphrasing. And then B is brainstorm. If your child's worried about getting lost, well, label it. Says it sounds like you're worried about getting lost. What can we do? So you draft up a piece of paper, and brainstorming is writing all the ideas on paper. Your child kids are amazing, resourceful people when you prompt them for ideas. And they'll come up with suggestions. So if I do get lost, I'll go to the principal's office. That's good. Write it down.
And this gives them confidence.
It also gives them a plan. So if there is a conflict, they don't come up with an excuse. They come up with a plan to solve their conflicts or their problems or their fears.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we on C?
Yes.
Are we still on B?
Well, brainstorming also is eliminating the silly ideas. Like, what would you do? I'll go back home. Well, you write it down, but then you eliminate to one or two possible alternatives, and you stick to them so they have a plan. C is giving kids choices within limits. That means if your child is anywhere between 4 and 6 years old, you want to give them two choices going back to school. For example, you might tell them, where would you like your lamp, on the left or on the right side of your desk?
This is good to give them the choices.
Because it empowers them, it gets them involved, and you're going to get cooperation. So you're going to have a child who's ready, willing, and able to go to school. So they don't have a feeling of, I need to go to school, is I want to go to school. But this is how it works. 4 to 6-year-olds, you want to give them two choices. Which of these backpacks would you like to buy, the Barney or the Dora?
Okay.
If your child is 6 to 8, you want to increase that. So you want to have basically a general choice. So you say, which of these 3 fruits would you like to bring a snack, or which of these backpacks would you like to buy? So you're increasing the choice decision.
We actually had our teacher call us. I thought this was great. She called us to introduce herself. She sent a letter home to us.
Right.
She wanted us to know what she expects.
Right.
My son has to tie his shoes.
Right.
She doesn't want Velcro shoes. She wants the kids to tie their shoes.
Right.
We hadn't taught him that yet.
Right.
So we were like, oh, my goodness. So we taught him how to tie his shoes. So he is so excited that he can do that on his own.
Right.
We may never have taught him. He could have been, 50, 60, still using the Velcro. So that really encouraged us to do
Well, I have Velcro, too. I mean, they were, no. And then, of course, you know, if your child is 6 to 8-year-old, you want to give them a guideline. You want to say, go get a snack. Remember, it has to be healthy. Or go get ready for school. Remember, it's cold outside. So you have a general guideline. So they're becoming more accountable and increasing their decision. And of course, if your child is 12 and over, you want to take the hands-off approach. You want to do, you've already allowed them to make the choices within limits, and you want to increase and put them fully accountable for their choices.
Because sometimes teenagers are so hard to deal with. They don't want to
are.
talk about things.
Right.
They're just, you know, I'm going to school, I'm doing my own thing, I'm not
Right.
talking to mom and dad.
Right, right. And then minutes later, they get on the phone and they blah, 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 blah to their friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because,
You just have to keep asking.
well, specific questions instead of general questions, because then they'll give you a general answer saying nothing happened today.
You're
right?
good. You know what you're talking about. So if you are interested in having Pasquale at your school to give a seminar, you can go to kidstuffseminars.com. And, of course, we're going to have that on our BC hotline and on our website. Thanks, Pasquale.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me in.
All right. We're going to head into you, Tracy.